reasons. There are a lot of reasons for that. And whether it's 50, 55, 35, 40, it's not the quantity that matters. It's the quality of the people that you get. As a result of that, this is both a posting and an advertising and then a search process on the part of search consultants to call people and to ask for recommendations and to reach out to people that you know, asking them who they know. You know, that in the parlance of what goes on in corporate America, that's called headhunting. And this is, you have to do both. And we have already, because it was in the paper that we were going to do this, people have contacted us. We've already begun to do that. We want to keep that to a minimum until the position is posted and advertised for obvious reasons. But we also don't want to lose the summer to be able to go and reach to people and talk to people and encourage people to be interested in this.
Two points on the context of this, which I think is important. When Bill talked about the number, I don't know how many people are going to apply, but in New Jersey, and I think it was last year, there was somewhere to start the school year off. There's 600 districts in New Jersey. There was something in the neighborhood of 90 to 100 interim superintendents, or jobs that were not filled by superintendents last year. Now, it could be for a variety of reasons. A, they couldn't find somebody, or no one applied, or whatever the situation is. Many schools opened last year and the year before that for a couple of years without a full-time superintendent in that position. So a search is an extremely important thing, and the researching and the advertising and the reaching out and the outreach is extremely important. That's why a lot of school districts just don't do it themselves, because who are school board members going to call? Who are they going to talk to in terms of trying to get a pool of qualified people? And that whole networking is extremely important. That's the first piece. The second piece that goes along with that, and that's what Bill mentioned before, about our proposal, not only it's for the search, but the second part of the proposal is to spend that next year with the superintendent to act as a mentor in that particular case. And the reason is this: the average stay of a superintendent in New Jersey, anybody like to take a guess how long the average superintendent is in the job?
2 to 3 years.
2, 4, 10, 2.7 years in New Jersey. 2.7
Must be a
years.
good place to work on.
Well, but you don't know why they
I
leave.
don't know if you would interpret
No.
2.7.
No, I'm being sarcastic. I'm being
Yeah,
sarcastic.
right. 2.7 years in New Jersey.
Certainly an
Obviously,
opportunity, but yeah.
obviously, sometimes they resign themselves, they quit, and sometimes they get fired. Now, think about this. Some superintendents are in their job 20 years. So imagine how many one-year superintendents you have to make up for that average of 20 years. So the job, regardless of public perception about the job is not an easy one. In a district this large, which is one of the larger districts in New Jersey, you need the right person to fill this position. You really do.
I was going to ask that question about the size of the district. Have you dealt with districts this large?
Well, Bill will tell you.
Well, I was involved as the search consultant for Newark, it was 45,000 kids. For Patterson, which was 32,000, did that twice. And then all the way through a district that had 200 students. So,
Have you ever picked somebody that wasn't a superintendent beforehand?
yes. Yes,
Is that more common than not, or?
Depends on the size of the district.
exactly.
If you have a district of 400 students,
That's different.
you're not going to get a sitting superintendent.
Right.
If you're a sitting superintendent, someplace, I don't care where it is, you need a reason to leave that sitting superintendency to
Right.
go to another district. If you are, it's probably to go to a larger district most times. So a smaller district would most times either get an assistant superintendent or a principal or that type of stuff.
For your placements, how successful in time and in length of time that they've saved? I'm sorry. That's okay.
On average, 6 and above, which is well above the state.
This one was.
Questions. I was not here with the meeting, so I don't know if you talked about whether this search is national.
Yes. And let me get.
We didn't get to that.
Okay.
That's okay. But
No, go ahead.
yes, and then I'll tell you how.
And does your commitment to the board include, multiple rounds? I mean, if you don't find what you want, how many rounds are you guys on the hook for? I am a school board member in Colts Neck, and our last superintendent, we went out twice for her, and we finally got him. And our criteria was we wanted an experienced superintendent. We must have an experienced superintendent. We didn't get that,
Yeah, you
but we
got
got a phenomenal superintendent. But he was not. We were his first district. So, we can all hope and pray we're going to get him in 6 months, and I don't think we're going to get it by January. It would be, I think, a miracle if you found us the right superintendent by January 1st.
We do
I just want to know what you guys are
one
committed to in terms of the
additional
board.
reopen for the
Okay.
price.
But there's an opportunity, obviously, to keep you on if...
Yes, because for what it is that we
Sure,
propose to
right.
do, we would do one reopen,
Okay,
yes.
so your contract right now includes one reopen.
Yes. And we will make sure the board understands that as we talk about. We think we'll be able to find quality candidates, which is the success for a consultant, is that you're able to give the board a choice of candidates who are quality candidates, and then naturally who have been successful until they're hired. But that doesn't mean that the board should select if they are not satisfied. But it also means that we can't have an endless reopening
Of course.
that goes on. And so we would do it for one other time if this didn't work the first time. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. So the you know about the timetable, and it's a race of sorts. If we can do it. Now, we will say this over and over again. If the board's uncomfortable, then we're not going to do it, even though it would be very helpful to have this advertised and begin the process at the end of June. It really would be helpful. We wouldn't call it a miracle by January 1st, but I think that people have to understand that that's the earliest, and there's a lower probability for a lot of reasons. We do not, and I think this is part of what was behind your question, we do not say that anybody ought to have an advertisement that said superintendent's experience only required. We think that saying things like superintendent's experience preferred leaves it open for you to see other kinds of people, and the same thing with doctorates, because this is becoming a more difficult search process in the state of New Jersey. Not in Freehold Regional High School, the state of New Jersey. That what you've seen over a period of time, there are fewer and fewer people seeking these positions for a number of reasons that we don't have to go through. But we don't want to shut down potential applicants. You want to make them wide enough so that we can entertain possibilities from people who are not classically in that experience. We will say to the board and to whoever else wanted to hear this, this is a complex school district, we don't have to tell you that. Not only is it big by New Jersey standards, it's complex because of the number of communities and the number of high schools. And that high schools are, though no entity in any K-12 system is any more important than another one, there's a characteristic to high schools that's different than elementary schools in terms of athletics and all the other things that go with it. This is a complex position. It really is. And therefore, the experience either directly in this or close to it, or with the kind of equivalency that is defensible, is really going to be necessary. It really is. It would be hard for somebody to learn how to be a superintendent without any central office experience in this district. It really would.
Does this budget crisis provide an extra roadblock?
To select a superintendent?
Yeah.
Not from the district's point of view, but it could retard the interest of some people who are presently in positions from leaving. It could. And of course, we don't know the end of this either. It's not going to end by September. Let me quickly get through the process so that then we can stop and answer any questions you have, and then get to some of the questions we have, and then hear some of the things that you would like to ask of us or say or clarify and get into the discussion part.